day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld Today. I'm B-Ron, taking over in the host chair for the rest of the week for Marsh. Don't worry, I'll keep us moving here. I'll keep the ship steady, nice and safe. I got this. And joining me this morning is Sniper Jay. It's good to have you here, my friend. What's going on, man? Good morning.
Good morning, B. Ron. I'm doing great. How are you doing today?
I am wonderful, my man. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's go ahead and let's jump right into things, shall we? There's been a lot of moving and shaking going on in the SWBA playoffs, and one of the biggest moves yesterday, actually, was the surprising, in my opinion, firing of Tom Thibodeau from the Knicks after 5 seasons. He is gone from the team as a head coach, and this is the coming off of a run where the Knicks have their deepest playoff run in the last 25 years. So this is very strange to me personally. Jay, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's the perfect fire. I think the Knicks are doing right. He didn't have control of his players. It's New York. It's expected. They had the team to win, and they did not produce when it mattered the most. I understand, B. Ron, that this is New York's back, this, that, and the third. But if they really back, they get to the championship, especially with Brunson and Towns.
Fair, fair. I think that this is I don't agree with that though. And I say that because I think when you have a run like this, having the message and the voice in the locker room continue to be the
Mhm.
same going into your next season after a strong run like this, I think would do you more would help you out more than trying to get a new voice in there with a new message, or trying to keep that same message going forward with a different voice, because this new coach could come in and they could change things completely, and it could mess up the entire game plan of the team going in the next season, which means that they might not be as good next season. And then you get into a situation of, oh well, if we had Thibodeau here, this wouldn't be a problem. Now I know I use a lot of ifs and coulds, but that's where we are. We have to use those words because that's where we are right now with this whole situation. We don't know who's taking a spot just yet, but that's the danger you run when you make a move like this after a season like this that the Knicks had. I think it's really strange for that reason, and I don't like it.
I get it, B. Ron, and again, I love you, and I usually agree with you, but here I just can't do it, and here's the reason why. From the outside looking in, because I'm not in New York and I'm not in their organization, by no stretch of means. I wish I was, but I'm not. But on the outside looking in, right, you see the teams that they played against. They won. They all got to the conference finals, and Tibbs, his style, no question, it works. But where was the joy? Where was that New York feel from the players? We didn't get that. But on the other side, when you watch Halliburton and you watch Siakam and you watch the Pacers, man, they're playing fast, they're smiling, they're laughing, their bench is hyped. We didn't see that from New York in the series, and I think that is the problem that the upper organization has with Tibbs. When are you going to conform and let these players be themselves and actually let them have fun instead of being so? I went. What's the word I'm looking for here? I have a person. I can't say his name. But direct and like a boss and like stubborn in his ways. I think that is what led to this firing, not the X's and O's. I think it's, can you relate to the players? Can you manage them correctly and get them to the championship? I think that's what the New York Knicks are looking for.
Well, just to read a quote here from the president of the team, Leon Rose. He said that we made the decision. We feel it's best for us going forward. Tom will always be part of our next family. We truly wish him nothing but best in the future. He did state that he can't thank him enough for pouring his heart and soul into the team and that kind of thing. And
Right.
and, and this is a team that's had a slew uh of coaching I don't want to say success, but they've had some big name coaches over there throughout
Yes,
their tenure to
yes.
go back to the 1990s when Patrick Ewing and them were there. So like this team, they're no stranger to having coaches there for a long time. And Thibodeau himself was there since the 90s. He was around the team in the 90s because he was the assistant under Jeff Van Gundy.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And one thing I want to speak about that, like that tenure of coaches, it's a legacy. It's just like LA, New York, LA. It's the same thing. There's a certain standard of excellence and winning or like professionalism that they're supposed to have. I think Tips definitely did that. I just think his run is over with the team. And you know you hate to say that, but like everybody knows they got that one job. All right, nah, all right, this job is done for me. It's time to move on to something else. And I think that's how the New York Knicks feel with Tibbs.
Well, and one more final thing before we move on here. This is also again coming off of a season where, like I said, Knicks made the playoffs, and they upset the Celtics, knocking them out of the playoffs. And this isn't the first time this has happened. It's happened other times. It happened with the Celtics recently. Udoka's gone. It happened back in 2014 with the Grizzlies. Lionel Hollins happened back in '09 with the Pistons, Flip Saunders, and then back in '06 with the Pistons for Larry Brown. So Larry Brown got fired for Flip Saunders, who took that spot in 2007. So, like I guess not the first time, won't be the last time either, and hopefully won't be the last time for these guys heading into the finals of the SABA season, as we're a day away from the finals starting as of Wednesday. The finals start
Yes,
Thursday, so
Thursday.
March has been talking all week about the legacy impact from what a finals win could do for a lot of these players. So we'll keep that rolling here with us today. There's a lot of things in this finals matchup that it could impact legacy of players. You look at obviously your guys like SGA. You look at a guy like
Yes,
Halliburton in particular. The big
yes.
name guys, obviously,
That's right.
who are guys who you want to look at in this kind of game. When you talk about legacy, you talk about the big name players. So I want to get your thoughts first. What do you think that this finals win would do for the legacy of these teams, these players, that kind of thing?
Oh, okay. Hold on, be wrong. What you want? You want to start big names or you want to start small names?
Uh, let's start big names. I think big names is fine to start with.
Bet. Okay, let's go. Shea Gilgis Alexander,
Yeah.
Kentucky. We got Tyrese Halliburton, Iowa State. I think this is Shea's chance to stamp his name as the face of the league. And it just is what it is, right? It was Anthony Edwards, and Anthony Edwards has a great story. He has the charisma, he has everything. He just can't get over the hump in Minnesota. But Shea, on the other hand, he's doing it with a group of young guys, dynamic. OKC is the front runner of what the league wants to be, in my opinion. A bunch of young guys, a great fan base, and they're winning. That's why I think Shea is. I think that's what he's playing. Well, he's playing for Finals MVP, and he's playing to be the face of the league for sure. There's no more Jason Tatum. Yeah, I'm sorry to say that, but he got hurt. He will have to come back off an injury, and then we could let's say re objectify or re consider him as a player of the face of the league. But right now it's wide open. Anthony Edwards out of the playoffs, right? So how's the face of the league gonna go to him if he can't win? So Shea is in a prime spot to take that over. Halliburton is fighting to actually be the star that everyone doesn't want him to be. That's what I think. He's been doing it over and over again, and people keep knocking him. Oh, he's not that good. But now he's in the finals, and if he could find a way to put Indiana as champions, now you have no choice but to say, okay, Halliburton's one of the top five guards in the league, and there's no questions asked.
Yeah. So look, I think you're absolutely right on both of those points. I have been a big supporter, we'll say, of OKC for the last couple of years because I like what they've been doing with the young talent over there, and I thought they would get there last season and make it to the finals. When it didn't end up happening, obviously, but I think this year is a really good chance for SGA and those guys to actually get it done and do it because you're not going up against a uh, I'll use the word juggernaut. We'll say,
Yeah, that's right.
like the Celtics. You're not
That's right.
doing that. That's a tough matchup. That's a tough hurdle to overcome. You're getting the Pacers. I'm not saying the Pacers are bad because they deserve to be here. Obviously, they've gotten this far for a reason. They're very talented. But I think this is a matchup of, and also too, if I could break the rules for just a second here, um, for Legacy team wise, this is a
Hmm.
chance for both of these teams. I think when you talk about the SCBA, you think about LA, you think about New York, you think about Boston Celtics, you think about the Mavericks, those teams that are good or hanging around that good border for a while. You're not thinking about the Pacers and the Thunder. You haven't recently anyway, right?
No,
So
no,
now both of these teams have a chance to put themselves in spots where you can really put yourself on the map for the general public of basketball fans and players in the league in general who want to come play for you, right? If the goal is to
absolutely.
win, you want to go to a team where you can win, and the Pacers and the Thunder now have an opportunity to put themselves as teams in that spot as a legacy and say, we can build a winning culture here. You can come play for us and win.
That's right. And to piggyback, because I 100% agree with that, B-Ron. To piggyback off that, OKC is super young. So now you have a really young team, and they're not old. So well, what was it called when Steph and all them guys did it? The dynasty for both of these teams can start now
Yes.
if they win. That's because both teams are relatively young. The Pacers are a little older than the Thunder, but both teams are young enough to like, hey, if we win this one, we can keep the same team and try to make a run for it again and again and again.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I have one other name that I want to throw out here before we move on here because I did want to talk about a smaller name player perhaps. Uh,
Hmm.
and I don't know if you'll agree with me, but Miles Turner.
Hmm.
Uh, I've I've liked Turner for a bit of time here, but I don't think he's ever been in a spot where he's been able to really uh succeed or make it fit within his have a high profile moment. If I'm misreading
Right.
things, it's fine. Someone let me know. But this is for Turner in particular. This is his opportunity to put himself in a spot where, again, he can elevate his career as well. Um, he's a guy who turned up his defense during the playoffs. Uh, and this was he came along really before Wemby and Chet Holmgren from the Thunder side of things, where you know uh really changed the game for the bigs in the league. So I think that Miles Turner is another guy for me.
That's a great observation. And just to clean up what you said, because I agree with you, right? Miles Turner came into the league really highly known. His game really didn't fit the league game then. Got to Indiana. I think Indiana gave him the space and the system for him to thrive. And now that he's thriving, he's able to put his talents on notice. And now the team's in the NBA Finals. And yes, he does have the capabilities or the possibility in the finals to get that 4 to 5 year big time deal to stamp his name and like, hey, I'm here to stay. Well, no, he's already here to stay. I I earned this money. I deserve this type of contract because of how I played and what I've been through in my career.
Absolutely, 100% agree there, my friend. Speaking of making impacts and stamps and all that stuff, the SimWorld U season did just end, but it's never too early to talk about the upcoming season and the freshmen incoming into the season. This past season, we saw the likes of Cam Jones, Justin Bell, the James brothers, all make their various impacts in various ways on their programs. So I want to know from you, who do you have in mind as far as some potential uh, or most impactful freshmen, I'll say, this season? Could be one, could be a couple. Who you got?
I'm gonna give you two names, and the first one is gonna be Tompkins the third, committed to Syracuse with Coach Dre, and the reason why I think he's gonna be most impactful because he has nothing to lose. He's going to a program that didn't win a game last year. If they did, I forgot about it, so we might as well count it as zero. I don't think they won a game last year. So this kid is coming into this thing, and Coach Drayton is coming into this thing with nothing. Absolutely, like they're like ground zero. So whatever he does, it's going to be praised. But I think he has the capabilities to do it at the highest level. Tompkins the third. I think he can score with the best. I think he can actually be a focal point for the Syracuse team and leading them to a hoopsteria bid. And the second person, and I hate to say this because he's going to Duke. And if you know, you know, is Mr. Akire. Rip Akire. I
Oh,
mean, I
Akira is. I want to correct you really
that's
quick. Akira is going to South Carolina with with Coach Ray Pope.
oh, he changed.
Yes, yes.
That's
He,
right. He did change. That's right. The coach, and I'm gonna get into that a little later. But the South Carolina, I still think he's gonna be a problem there as well with his new coach. Again, when the coach goes, the player goes. I forgot about that one. I'm sorry, world. I'm sorry. But I still think he's going to be a major impact. South Carolina was kind of good. I think he has the ability to make them super good and very competitive in that tough SEC conference.
I like the Akira pick. I do. I think that's a good one. I think that he's in a spot where him, Isaiah James, Joey Justin in particular, all those guys, I think they're all going to be very good together. But I think that Akira is going to command a lot of the attention on that team. Him alongside Kendrick Baldridge is going to be a really fun duo next season for them. I think their defense is going to take a step up too, as well with Akira there. Um, if Akira's defense improves, of course. But look, my two. I got both guys are from the D.C. Maryland area.
Oh,
Jordan,
here you go.
yeah, of course. I had to give my guys some shine, and now's a good time to do it. As I threw out some names a few weeks ago in a tweet, but I'm not talking about those guys here again. I want to give different guys their shine here this morning. So first one, Jordan Belmont, the Wolf of Ball Street, as they as they call him here. He
Yeah.
is he is he's the number 8 ranked ESPN recruit going to Texas Tech next this coming season. He could score with the best of them from anywhere on the floor. He and what's really gonna make him work well is Cyrus Jackson. Cyrus
Okay.
Jackson is a guy who he's a very good defender, but in my opinion, he's also a very willing um what's I'm blanking on terms here. He's also a very willing defender, so he's gonna get in the way. And I think when you turn that defense into offense, Jackson blocking shots or things like that, and you get the ball to a guy like Belmont on the break and transition, it's easy. It's academic at that point, right? And
Hmm.
Belmont is going to be he's slated to be a starter on day one coming into the program. So that's already going to put him in the driver's seat to make a positive impact and have a chance for that offense to really run through him as a freshman. Will it happen? I don't know, but that's one. That's my one guy. The other guy that I have is Arlo Cook. Arlo Cook from DC, and
Hmm.
he's going to Georgetown. And I with the season Georgetown had this past season, if you add a guy like Cook to this team here, that makes this already dangerous offense even more dangerous. When you look at guys like Laster returning, you got Keith Singleton returning, Brandon Smith returning as well. Just three guys off the top of my head that are returning from this team to this team next season. I think that those three guys I just named will take a lot of pressure off of Arlo Cook, so he doesn't have to try as hard, which means that offenses won't be paying as much attention to him, which means that he can do what he does best, and that's shoot the corner three ball.
That's right.
Knock
That's
down
right.
those corner threes, open up the offense for Georgetown, and he also does what Belmont does a little bit too, and he can put the ball on the floor, and he can finish at the rim when needed too. He's got that dual threat capability, and I think that you need that in a guy in your freshman. If they're a scorer primarily, you'll be able to do a little bit of both. That way they can get comfortable doing a little bit of both of those things. If one isn't working, get the other one going, and it ideally compounds on itself. Any thoughts? I didn't know if you had anything else before I wrap up here, but any thoughts on that?
No, no, I like the picks. I think there's a lot of good players, like you already said, and I think a lot of these guys have made the right picks to set themselves up to be successful. Now it's on them to have a great summer and a great fall campaign to lead into the season, and then they could hit the ground running, and then that's when they could have that impact that everybody wants them to have and they want for themselves. But it's all about the work in the off
Yeah,
season, and that's all I
exactly.
got.
Exactly. This is to all of the players listening to the show this morning, whether you are going to SimWorld U or getting ready for a SimWorld prep season. Stay active, stay engaged. It's the best way for you to continue to get better. Stay engaged in your team drills. Stay active on the court, in your pickup games, all that stuff. Pay attention to what's going on around here, too, because there's more content coming your way between today and tomorrow's Hybrid J. Thank you for joining me this morning on SimWorld today. I appreciate you. I'll be back tomorrow with another guest, perhaps. Until then, you guys, do all the things you usually do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. You know, on all of our shows, streams, pickup games, all that stuff. Go live for you here in the off season that is SimWorld and SimWorld Hoops in general. And remember, SimWorld is the only place where you can see the game, be the game. We'll see you tomorrow.